I'm Jay,
I'm Justin.
I'm Elizabeth.
and we're Cryptostatic. I actually got started in music when I was 6 years old. My uncle was a music director for a church. He was a big influence because there was always music in the house. Everything was always going, and I was always, as a kid, just kind of, that's what I wanted to do. And I was a huge Ozzy fan at 6. And my mom, we were at the mall in Muscatine, and she told me, she goes, you can go in, we're going to go into the, I think it was a disc jockey or whatever it was down there back in the day. She's like, you can buy one tape, whatever tape you want. So, of course, I run back and I'm looking through all the Ozzy stuff. And it was actually the first real rock tape I bought. And all they had Ozzy at the time was the tribute album. So, get home and I'm listening to it, and it's a live album with Randy Rhoads and everybody. Tommy Aldridge was a drummer on that tour. And his drum solo, I mean, that's pretty much, on that album, is what, when I heard that, I was like, I have to do this. I want to be a drummer to do that. That was just pivotal. I mean, that was like the nail in the coffin to say, this is what I want to do. This is my passion. This is what I'm going to pursue. Didn't have the money to buy a drum set as a kid. Parents couldn't afford it. And started playing on just 5-gallon buckets, teaching myself what drums made this sound by watching MTV, watching the music videos. I actually say, wow, this drum makes this sound when he hits it, this does that, and listening to my Walkman with my tapes and everything. And I think I was 15 when I actually got my first drum kit. And it was pretty funny because when I first got it and I sat down and everybody's like, oh God, you're gonna suck. And I actually, just from playing around on the buckets and everything, that I was actually pretty good at it. Trying to learn how to do that, figure it out, play it, and then I got bored with that and started playing with guitar. Played guitar for a few years, got bored, went back to drums, and it's been kind of a hodgepodge, back and forth, guitar, drums.
Music's always been an important part of my life. I think it has for all of us. I mean, we all grew up with some sort of music in the house. I remember going to church on Sundays, and my dad didn't have the best voice in the world, but he was singing loud and proud, and his influence gave me the courage to sing, even though I didn't think I was that good. Played piano, played trumpet through school, was in choirs, things like that. Big thing for me is theater. I auditioned for my first show in 8th grade. It was Guys and Dolls Jr. I was Miss Sarah Brown. Found that I really, really loved being on stage. And I think everybody was shocked because I'm such an introvert. They don't think that I would like to be on stage and have everyone staring at me, but I'm cool with it. And that kind of gave me a different spin on the music stuff. And that's when I got into theater, which led to becoming a theater major in college, which got me into the technical theater, lighting design, that sort of thing. Well, I transitioned from theater to metal. It's an interesting transition. In 2014, Justin's old band, Battle Red, was looking for a female vocalist. I happened to see the Craigslist ad, which is shocking because I'd pretty much given up on ever being able to be in a band because my work schedule just didn't work. And auditioned for him, somehow convinced him that I could sing and be a front person for a metal band. And the rest is pretty much history. I was in that band for, 6 or 8 months. And
8 months?
Then we left the band and started Cryptostatic, and it's been great.
My mom set me up in piano lessons actually at the age of 4, Suzuki piano, all learning by ear. And for those of you that have met me and see how all over the place I am now, can you only imagine me at 4 years old trying to convince me that I had to spend a half hour at a piano every day, which now I'm very grateful for it. Of course, didn't keep up with it, but always played some type of instrument, violin for a little bit, trombone. And then at 15, my parents moved from North Carolina to Florida, and they felt so guilty about moving me that they actually gave in and bought me my first electric guitar. And my dad said he's regretted that every day for a while, mainly because I lost a full ride scholarship to play guitar and become a rock star, and obviously that's working out well. Now, for me, this is actually the 20th year that I've been playing guitar. Actually, it was right about this time that we did move to Florida. So I was probably walking through Mars Music in Orlando, Florida, which is now with Sam Ash. on it, and picked out that guitar. With me losing the scholarship, I played in a band in Florida called Disowned. We played all up and down the I-4 corridor, recorded 2 EPs on it, nothing released it. We were pre-MySpace on it, so no social media on it. We had no clue what we were doing with any of it. But we did end up with some fun recordings and got a lot of gigs. We played Emergenza Festival, a club downtown Orlando, I can't remember the name of it now, that we never would have gotten to play on it. Huge crowd for me at that point, probably 200-300 people. And I think some girls mistook me for someone else. Because it was really memorable, because I remember being up there on guitar. I didn't sing in that band. I just played guitar. I was the lead guitarist. And I had my pedal board at the front of the stage, and I'm just playing a solo, pulling a Kirk Hammett, just going to town on that wah-wah on it. And these girls are looking up on me on the stage just like I'm absolutely amazing and awesome. And it was that I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep playing guitar forever. But then I tried to talk to them afterwards, and someone must have told them who I really was. I don't know what was going on, because they wanted nothing to do with me. Can't say it was the best one, but it was the time like up on stage, and I'm like, man, do I ever feel like a rock star on it. These just girls looked at me going, oh, he's amazing. And then, no, it's because they thought I was probably Justin Timberlake or something.
As long as there's 2 people in the crowd or somebody standing at the stage, it's a killer performance for me.
Yeah, there's something about being on stage. I don't know what it is, but it's just the most amazing feeling ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get nervous?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Not nearly as much as I used to. And even when I was doing shows, plays and musicals and stuff, as soon as I got the first line out, I was fine. I'd be nervous up until I stepped out on that stage, spewed out my first line, and then I knew everything would be fine. And that still happens sometimes, but overall, I get excited, but I don't really get nervous, you know?
Jay and I, of course, Jay's old band Shadowstone, played quite a few shows with my old band Battle Red, actually right around in 2014. And actually, Jay and I met at his video shoot for Whiskey Hollow.
Yep.
With Shadowstone. I heard there was free beer.
Yeah, he showed up, and I think we actually talked for a little while after that.
Yeah, we hit it off then, and we played quite a few shows together. We did actually about 6 to 8 shows back to back.
When these guys left their band and started Cryptostatic, Justin inquired and hit me up, asking if I wanted to come, check it out and all that stuff. And at the time, I was in a bad spot, and I was just like, yeah, it's not really my thing, and walked away from music for about 4 years, and just on a whim, I was actually going to hit him up, and he hit me up and was like, hey, dude, what are you doing? And came over and listened to the first track, and was just like, I'd be an idiot not to, say yes to this.
So we'd been working on the project for about 3.5 years by the time we were working with the drummer that had to step away or step down from it, and Jay was able to fill in and do exactly what we needed on it.
But it was nice, though. I mean, it just kind of just came in and sat down, and was like we'd been jamming for years. So,
yeah.
I mean, it was just steady flow. Really neat tunes. I like it, and it's different. That's the thing. It's not what everybody else is doing. It's completely off the spectrum.
So that's just a little bit about who we are as individuals and as a band.
And thanks for tuning into the video.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.